What if the moderator was evil? What if the moderator was evil and I went to his house and he was actually having missile plans to hit the city? So then I had to ride the rocket, I had to ride the missile, hack the database, and get it down so it's like, and like crash into the ocean. While I'm walking back, I see his girlfriend and I'm like, I gotta have her. But the only way I can have her is if I beat him in a peanut eating contest. So I end up winning in the peanut eating contest and I end up taking his girlfriend. But his girlfriend ends up being a vampire, so I have to trick her into turning into a bat and then ice water. But her blood actually ends up being some sort of toxin that causes zombie apocalypse to happen. So what I have to do is I have to steal the school bus and put a saw at the end and chainsaw the zombies, right? But then it ends up I'm hallucinating all of it and I'm just driving down the highway with a bus with a saw at the end. So then the police are chasing me, so I pull out my squirt gun, but instead of water, it's lava. So I'm shooting lava at the cops and I'm like, oh my eyes! And then I escape to Tahiti. And in Tahiti, I'm sipping on my coconut coffee. And then till I black out. And then I wake up in the sky and I'm falling and I'm like, wow, I'm falling. Then Tom Cruise comes out of nowhere and he's like, I believe in you. And then I start growing wings and flying. And while I'm flying around, enjoying my new power, Dwayne Johnson punches me out of the sky. And I'm like, oh, you want some? So we're like, and there's like explosions happening. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, is that an explosion in the sky? So we're fighting, and he hits me into the ground. So now we're fighting into the ground, and we fight, and our power is so strong that it ends up splitting the earth in half. So I'm like, and I get super mad, and I end up beating Dwayne Johnson. But then I'm like, how am I supposed to get the earth back together? But then I see the other half of the earth floating away. So I take my glue gun, and I glue the world back together. But then another lady comes along, and she puts water on it, which dissolves the glue. So then the world ends up splitting back apart. So what I have to do is take some mud and form it into a hammer. And then knock her into a different planet. And then she lands on the other planet and it ends up being full of cannibalistic aliens. And the aliens eat her slowly. So while I'm sitting up there watching, everyone's like, woo, you go, you beat her. And then I just sit on the beach enjoying my coconut coffee. The end.